But yeah,
Yeah.
everybody hates it. They're like, "How do you sand?" I'm like, "Well, when you think about it, I just got to move my arms up and down, and it pays pretty good."
Welcome to the Powered by People podcast. I'm Wendy Pauls, and this is the show where we explore the stories and passions behind the professionals making a difference. Join me for real conversations that celebrate the heart behind the hustle, one story at a time. Since this is really your debut, I do have an introduction that I wrote for you.
Thank you.
Um, I like reading them for people and then having them fact check on the spot, see how I did, see what you think of my introduction of you. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Let's hear it.
Okay. My guest today is Trevor Gervais, a seasoned contractor and home inspector with over 2 decades of experience in the construction industry. As an expert drywall contractor since 2002, Trevor has built a reputation for excellence, whether tackling large scale projects or handling precise repairs. But beyond his hands on expertise, he's also passionate about educating homeowners, sharing valuable insights on social media to help people better understand their homes. When he's not on a job site, Trevor is a dedicated dad and a baseball coach, bringing the same commitment and leadership to the field as he does to his work. Today, we'll talk about what homeowners should know about renovations, inspections, and the little details that can make a big difference in a home's integrity. Welcome to the podcast.
Wow, thank you. That's a great intro. I'm gonna have to keep that one and replay it. Anywhere I go, I'm just gonna hit the play button.
It's good, right? Yeah,
Exactly. When
yeah.
I walk into my next room, I'm gonna hit play, and there it is. Yes.
Yeah, that's
Perfect. Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you.
I mean, part of what I want to do and part of what this show is about is getting to know the people. So not just your work. So we will get to talking about your contracting work, the inspection work, all of that. But I do want to get to know and share a little bit more about you.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, I loved checking out your social media, your personal one a little bit, and seeing the pictures of your son and baseball.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about social media is that you can see like
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
matters to people, right?
Yeah. Yeah. People have their separate business, and then you can delve into their personal. And you can tell a lot from somebody for sure. So
You can. And it is the highlights. We all get that. Like you're not typically sharing all the, miserable stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, you can tell what people really care about. So
Yeah.
that was great to see. Love,
Thank
you have
you.
some
Thank you.
great pictures on there. Yeah.
It's all about the kids. So, well, the kid, it's all about the one. I've lived a good life, and I'm trying to pass it down to him and give
Hmm.
him the things that I don't have, and yeah, trying to teach him to work hard. So,
Yeah. Oh wow.
although
He's
his
got
report
he's
card
got a
he just
role
got,
model. Oh no,
yeah.
a bad
Oh,
report card.
oh yeah, it's okay. We'll be working on that one.
How old is he?
He's 12 now.
12. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So,
Amazing.
he just got his first Valentine. Oh
Did
my God.
he?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
sweet time. Oh, we remember
Yeah.
those beautiful, innocent days. Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So, yeah, so the report card, it kind of overshadowed the report card a bit, so it was okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But
Well, a report card shows, one little slice.
yeah,
Doesn't
yeah,
show, doesn't show much overall, that's for sure.
no, it's all right.
So tell me how you got started in contracting and specifically in like drywall, which most of us, if we've ever tried
Everybody
even
hates.
to like patch a hole, like even a nail hole, we know is like miserable, precise work.
Yeah,
And people think they can do it until they try
it
to do it.
it
So
looks easy.
yeah, what's the journey to get there?
So I moved from up north. I lived in Timmins till about 2001-ish, and then I moved here. My father had lived here, and he was an old school drywall finisher, taping, mostly what they call taping. It's the mud and plastering and that. And I had finished college, and I'm like, hey, I want to move out of Timmins. I'm like, can you get me a job?
Hmm. Hmm.
Within 3 months, I became really good at it, and yeah, and just kind of rolled with it since then. And then it's been a long process of my own company to union commercial work to everything, kind of what formed me into what I am today. A little bit of every end of it. And then now I'm just doing my own thing and loving it, and it's been great. So
Yeah,
it's been a process, but I get to meet so
sure.
many people, and you build the contacts and friends, and it's been a good journey so far. But yeah,
Yeah.
everybody hates it. They're like, "How do you sand?" I'm like, "Well, when you think about it, I just got to move my arms up and down, and it pays pretty good." So
Yeah, I know you make it sound easy, but I don't think it is. It must be in your
yeah.
genes. Maybe it's in the genes. It's a
Yeah,
skill.
it's a thing. It's either like they say, you kind of have the feel for it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
some like to say it's an art form, but it's
Yeah.
like anything. It can be learned as long as you're dedicated to learning. I've always been pretty good at learning things, so
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of why I transitioned into other avenues of learning. I like to keep it rolling. I don't want to get too bored in one thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you must be a patient person though, because it's not a job for somebody who's impatient.
Yeah, no, it's a process. Yeah, you gotta have lots of patience. You're looking at going back to the same thing 4 times, so
Yeah. Oh,
it's not a
sounds
win and bam.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
have it. I won't
yeah.
fight you for it, okay?
No, it hurts the back and the body, and it wears you down. But
Mm-hmm.
I try to keep it in fair enough shape. But it's kind of also why I'm transitioning a bit to getting into the home inspection end.
Mm-hmm.
You can only do these things for so long, and yeah, so hopefully that's kind of the ultimate goal. But it's nice to have both. You can kind of balance, and so far it's been good
Yeah.
balancing both.
Yeah. You need some variety for sure.
Yeah, variety. Everything but painting. I'm not as Carolyn knows.
No?
I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of painting.
Not a fan of that. And that's one thing I
No.
can do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
What did you want to be when you were a little boy?
You know what? I always wanted to be a police officer, believe it or not. And then,
Did you?
yeah, when I was up north, I did like 2 years college when that started out, the police foundations when it first came out. And then that's also why I kind of moved down south from there, try to get a better opportunity
Mm-hmm.
at jobs. Lots of volunteering, and just never came through. And it's lots of interviews, lots of this, but it's such a hard process. And
Mm-hmm.
unless you dedicate your life fully to just trying to make that goal,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah.
And then
Mm-hmm.
you start making a family.
Mm-hmm.
I was married. I had a son. It's buy a house. It's you need an income coming in. You can't
Yeah. Yeah.
rely on to keep chasing that dream. So,
Right.
but I look back. I'm happy with where I am. I've good freedom. I've good.
Mm-hmm.
It's people think having your own company is you make your own hours. You do this. You do that. No, if you're busy, yeah, if you're
Yeah.
busy, you got some tweaking and adjusting, but
Sure.
it's
Sure.
all day, all night. Somebody's calling you.
Yeah. Yeah. There are
More your end
really
too.
there's pros and cons to every choice, right? Yes, it isn't always 9 to 5, and you can take a day off here or there. But if you've taken a job and it's going to take X amount of days, like you got to show up and finish it, or they're breathing down your neck, or you're eating into the time for your next job.
Yeah,
So
it all
yeah,
snowballs.
yeah,
So, but I make it do. I make work. So,
yeah. Are you good at managing your schedule, like setting times and kind of
um,
keeping a decent
yeah,
schedule?
yeah, I've been pretty good. The mix between the contracting and the home inspection has been a great mix
Mm,
because, like I'm typically an early person, so I'm up at 6 and I'm working, and usually I'm done by 1 or 2.
hmm.
And then most of the time for the inspection end, it's people want from noon on, or 2 o'clock
Okay,
on, or weekends, or this and that. So it's pretty easy to balance both.
great.
I'm a worker. That's kind of the one thing I'm good at. So I just keep doing. I don't like to cut into any time with my family, but
Hmm.
I'm pretty good at managing around that, and it's been pretty good.
Hmm.
Been
Yeah.
pretty good. So far.
And what's the sort of entertainment side of things when in this season in winter when we can't be coaching or watching baseball?
Yeah, baseball was a 24/7 commitment. That took
Yeah.
more that took more time than work put together.
Wow. Yeah. Was it the first time, like this past season? Was that the
No,
first time you coached?
I've coached Kitchener AAA for 7 years. Head coach, and then we just won the 12U AAA provincials last year.
Amazing.
So yeah,
Congratulations.
so thank you. So best in the
Hmm.
province, but it was time this year actually. Just now, last couple months, I stepped away.
Okay.
My son went on to a higher league, the
Okay.
Ontario Nationals. So I get to sit back and be one of those pesky parents.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty good. I sit back and I just let him do his thing now. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it took a lot. But other than that, lately the wintertime, you'd think I like shoveling, the amount of shoveling we do, but snowboarding is a big one. I'll go with
Okay.
my son. We go
Snowboarding.
snowboarding.
Mm. All right.
That's about the only winter activity.
Mm-hmm.
Hockey, I've always played hockey, but I don't get into it much. Winter's a slow season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
For
but
activities.
yes, for sure.
Outside of work, we're talking about this a little bit, but you're a proud dad and we're a baseball coach. How did those roles shape your approach to business and working with clients? Like, what's the overlap there?
Well, the time management for sure.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Scheduling, the amount of scheduling that had to be done on, if we're just talking like the baseball end of it, which was crazy, scheduling tournaments and scheduling games and practices and practice plans, and
Yeah.
it kind of hand in hand with the work scheduling and that kind of thing, and then dealing with clients and dealing with parents is a very similar thing.
Ah,
Uh,
yes. I didn't
yeah,
think of that. Okay.
yeah, but I've been I've been blessed. I'm a very super, what people say, I'm super chill. I'm
You
very
are.
calm.
You are. You have such a nice, calm energy. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm like, it's so I've kind of been blessed with that. It takes a lot to get me angry, so I don't really ever
Mm,
get
mm-hmm.
angry. You know, Other my son gets a bad report card a little,
Mm,
but
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, all those things, and how I was brought up from up north, the hardworking and whatnot. They've all kind of molded me into how I am here.
Mm.
It's a different, people here. Back in when I was younger, it's if you get a job, you got to hold on tight because there's a million other people up north who want that job.
Mm,
So
mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so
And
that's what
it's
I do.
amazing how something like a kind of a challenge like that, but ends up working in your favor because you get this like really great work ethic because of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a curse too because I don't like to say no, and I'm a people pleaser too.
Mm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It can bite me in the butt every now and then, but
Yeah. So we need to do some
it's
work on
okay.
boundaries, it sounds like.
It's been pretty good lately, but there was a time where it was evenings, weekends,
Mm,
whatever.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know,
So that's why
yeah.
it was so easy to get you to do this. You just don't say no.
No, this is great. I watch your other ones, and it's awesome. And if it
Oh,
helps
thank
you
you.
out, it helps me out, and
Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's the
no, it's
goal.
awesome.
That's the
That's
goal
the
is
goal.
I'm a fan of the win-win. I really am.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
that's
for
great.
sure.
Okay, let's switch into some home inspection contracting type stuff. What are some of the most common issues you see in homes that people tend to overlook?
Nowadays, to be honest with you, not that they would even see, but lately, my biggest thing that I've been finding at like half of the houses I go to are gas leaks.
Oh,
Yeah, you wouldn't think so. And I
no.
would say like 80% of those are on the rental water heaters.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, I don't
So
know.
So how can we, like, for example, like how can I check if I have a gas leak?
I would say, other than hiring an inspector and hoping that they walk through and test it, I carry a meter with me and I'll kind of run it along all the gas lines and check. And most of the time I can kind of smell, I'm used to that, what it is. But
Mm-hmm.
I would say if you're a new home buyer and you're not getting an inspection, um, and it's a rental, because most of the homes nowadays are rental water heaters.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I would get a maintenance done on it when you move in,
Yep.
and they'll check it for you. And it's, a maintenance on, I recommend maintenances on furnaces,
Mm-hmm.
on a water tank, a couple $100, put your
Mm-hmm.
mind at ease.
Yeah.
It's well worth the money.
Yeah.
So,
Like annually, would you be thinking something like that?
um, for that, I would say, when you move in at least, and then, every couple of years,
Okay.
it doesn't hurt for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Have them
yeah.
take a look, keep things
Yeah,
safe.
yeah, like that's what you're
Yeah.
paying for. You are renting it, and they are able to come out and repair it. So
Totally. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Should be
yeah,
part of the
that's
service
been a
they
big
provide.
one. It should be.
Interesting and
Yeah,
sort of scary.
it is. It is. It's
Yeah.
weird, the things. Lately, I've kind of found a few odd things like off
Mm-hmm.
gas coming out of furnace pipes and whatnot, and
Mm.
yeah, well, and people wouldn't even know. So
Right. Right.
yeah,
Okay.
that's a big one. Um, what would be the other main one? Roof leaks are pretty common. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I try to get up in, well, I don't try, I do. I get up in the attic, and you can see a lot more other than flying the drone over the roof. You can really only see so much. It's kind of superficial exterior damage. But
Mm-hmm.
when you really get into the attic and kind of get in as much as you can tell the underlay is rotten or black or moldy, or you can see where it drips in the pile of insulation.
And what preceded that? Like, is that letting shingles go too long? Is it a bad installation job? All of the above? Is there something else
Um,
going on?
all of the above. A lot of things, like lately, the snow and the snow buildup,
Mm-hmm.
where you have multiple like kind of angles of a roof come together
Mm-hmm.
and they blow up. The snow blows up in there, and then
Mm.
when it melts, there's never a really good barrier from the wall of that angle to the peak of the roof. There's always a weird little spot,
Okay.
and it finds its way in.
Mm.
Um,
Mother
yeah,
Nature's
for
tricky.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's normal. You can't stop everything. Over time, 50-year-old homes, things do kind of degrade.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not unusual.
Mm-hmm.
A little roof leak is fixable. Um, it's the big roof leaks that aren't good, right? Like you can get a roof leak repaired for as little as $500.
Mm.
It's not the end of a sale of a house by
Right.
no means.
Yeah.
So
I have a
yeah, but that's a
solution
big one.
for the snow issue.
Yeah.
Let's go south.
Exactly.
That's my
Let's go.
solution. Move south.
Uh, We're going. I'm going in 2 weeks, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, where are you going?
Yeah, I'm just taking a Dominican trip,
Mm,
and yeah, it'll be good.
yep. Place
Just
you've
to
have you been
reset.
before?
I've been Dominican, yeah, a few times, so it's
Okay.
just kind of an easy. They're kind of all the same to me. I find,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
beach, water. I'm not too fussy. I'm pretty easygoing,
Nope.
so
Nope.
just enjoy the warmth and the nice
Yeah.
people, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds great. Oh,
Yeah, but
goodness.
that'll
And
fix the roof problem for sure.
that'll fix the roof problem. And
Yeah.
if you're go to a warm enough spot in the south, man, you just basically just need a little bit of shelter and you're good to
Oh yeah,
go.
just some shade and you're good. So
Yeah, sounds awesome.
yeah.
What's one misconception that homeowners have about drywall or home repairs that you'd love to clear up?
Ooh. So two, I guess there'd be. One is asbestos.
Okay.
Let's say asbestos. Well, kind of gets into both construction and home inspection end of it, but
Mm-hmm.
let's talk just the construction. A lot of people nowadays with the older popcorn style ceilings and
Yeah.
whatnot,
Yeah.
some of them are scared that there's asbestos in them. which there is in some of them, but it's kind of stopped around the 70s or the 80s. And realistically, if you don't disturb it and you're not up there breathing it in and scratching it off,
Mm-hmm.
then you're fine with it. Asbestos it's in many things. They still use it in commercial buildings. They use it
Mm-hmm.
in the drain pipes. They use it to wrap pipes still. It's commonly used. So asbestos is a big one. People think it's the ultimate red flag.
Yeah.
It's if it's there and it's falling off and it's flaking and
Mm-hmm.
that kind of damage, then yeah, you need an abatement
Mm-hmm.
company and let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
That's a big one that really scares people. But there's not a real need, especially with
Mm-hmm.
the 12 by 12 ceiling tiles that are kind of stapled to the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually
Yeah.
asbestos with those, and people are like, but they're a hard tile, and you're not gonna be unless you're sitting there with a grinder grinding it down. You're okay.
Okay, that's what our advice to people today. Don't grind down those square
Yes,
tiles.
yes. Don't grind
That's
anything
our wisdom.
down. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
don't breathe the dust in. But
Right, right. That's the actual issue.
asbestos scares a lot of people, and mold scares a lot of people, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and don't get me wrong, there is
Mm-hmm.
a time where mold and asbestos should scare people,
Yeah.
um, but there's big limits, right? There's surface mold, there's you know mold that you can just cut out a piece of drywall and repair.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's mold where it's completely run through the back of your basement wall and you don't even know
Mm-hmm.
it's there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's different depths of it, but
Yeah.
ultimately all these things can be repaired.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not a runaway scenario. It's about finding the right person for the job.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of there's the really low end person, there's the
Mm-hmm.
really high end person,
Uh-huh.
and then there's that guy who's not trying to take advantage of you
Yeah.
and knows his stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. But I like that reminder though that all this stuff, it's all fixable.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And in some cases, maybe it might not cost even as much as you might be thinking.
It's
Like
it's
look
not.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, look into it. Don't run
Mm-hmm.
away. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the end of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot, like mainly the big ones that I get on the inspection end are roof because the roof is probably an average of $10,000 right now.
Sure.
Where you can, I have a roofer that I refer all my roof leaks out to. He's done probably the last five of them, and he charges like $500 in and out in a day. He'll replace it, match the
Amazing.
tiles, see you later, or the shingles. So yeah, there's ways
Amazing.
of doing things for sure.
Yeah. Okay, I'm totally getting his contact information after.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, so you share a lot of educational content on your social media. You do a really good job.
Thank you.
Um, why is that important to you? And if you had to kind of pick one tip that you share, what's one tip that you wish more people knew?
Yeah, I try to stay relevant nowadays. Like we're
Mm-hmm.
doing the podcast, everything is online. People are always scrolling through, and you
Yeah.
need to catch their attention. If you can get their attention, then you can get a client. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
I've kind of built my whole inspection end off of the social media end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to keep it going. People make fun of me now because I always start with Trevor here.
That's your thing.
I guess I just stuck
Yeah.
with it now. So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but yeah, and yeah, so that's kind of I try to keep it going. And then sorry, the other end of the question was,
Like one tip, because you've shared kind of lots of things. I mean,
oh,
you
okay,
share things you find in inspections,
yeah.
there's lots of things you shared. But if you had to kind of pick one tip that you wish more people knew, what would it be?
Um, not that one tip that I wish everybody knew, and not that I'm boasting about prices or money or anything like that, but these inspections they're not expensive and they're very minimal on the grand scheme of things. Uh, you know, we're not there to kill deals. We're
Yes.
not that. Most of the time we work with the realtor. We know
Mm-hmm.
the realtor. it's not, we're not bad people. Like we're
Mm-hmm.
trying to help
Mm-hmm.
you. We're trying to help
Yeah.
the realtor.
Yes.
It's like, don't be afraid of these things. So, and even in times nowadays where the market's so uncertain, yet again, people are kind of shying away from them.
Mm.
Well, there
Mm-hmm.
is the easy, take a 1 hour walkthrough
Yeah.
for $175. You can walk through, get a peace of mind. You can check your roof, your furnace, your electrical panel, all the main points that are going to be the huge ticket items,
Mm-hmm.
and it's inexpensive, quick, easy, done. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a
Oh,
no-brainer to me. But
I know. After being in the position I am, and accompanying so many inspections, seeing what you're able to look at and uncover, and looking at the reports too. Oh my gosh, it's so worth it because you're just, yeah, sharing with them any deficiencies with the house at different levels, right? Like,
yeah, yeah,
this is a safety issue, this needs attention, the house is going to fall over, which is very few and far between.
yeah, yeah,
To some of the things that this should get some attention, but it's could be okay for a bit, to someday in the future you might want to think about. So I really like, and I'm not sure that everybody realizes, there's that kind of full range that you do kind of
yeah,
rate the level of the, urgency of the
yeah.
item, and lots of the things are not urgent.
Yeah, like I've walked through from every bedroom door to the furnace. So it's, it ranges
Right.
from a light switch to to your plumbing. So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what I like is that I'm happy to have the people follow me along. Like I tell them, it's a pretty boring process. So, you're more than welcome to follow me along. I can talk while we do it. I can
Yeah.
show you things. Most people don't, like, not most people, but some people aren't very, construction wise. They don't know where the shutoffs for their water are. They don't know that that's
That's been me. Like, huh?
they don't know, like, well, what's that thing? It's like, well, that's
Yeah.
your water softener. Well, does it work?
Mm.
Well, let's see if it does, right?
Hmm.
Let's try it out. And
Yeah.
nowadays with air exchange units, they're like, well, what's that big thing hanging up there? I'm like, well, it's your air exchanger. And what most people don't know is that there is a filter in there, and you should be cleaning out that filter every 6 months
Mm.
or so because it's sucking all the air from the outside, right? So I've
Hmm.
seen some pretty
Hmm.
dirty ones of those too.
Yeah.
Just little
Yeah.
things like that, right? Like little
Hmm.
tips. It's your home, so if
Hmm.
I'm not going to tell you who is.
Yeah, yeah. You're actually giving me an idea that we'll talk to offline, but I'll mention it here. That it would be great to do kind of like a little home maintenance seminar
Hmm.
with people, and
Yeah,
just touch on some things that kind of they should be considering, what things, like how often to check different things, what things they should be looking for. Just honestly, really kind of across the board. I think there's a ton of people
yeah,
that may not know these things. Like, if one of them isn't handy, or doesn't have that background, how else do we learn these things, right?
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, it might be
You know,
stuff that is so obvious to you, or to another contractor, but there's a lot of people that are not exposed to that. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
could
for sure.
could be really interesting.
Yeah, that would be a good
um
idea.
what's the most challenging, I was going to say challenging or rewarding, but yeah. So, what's the most challenging or rewarding project that you've worked on?
Um, are we more construction end or kind of all together?
You choose.
The most, I would say, the most challenging and and rewarding. Um, I ran a lot of big commercial jobs, built offices and whatnot. And I would say my favorite one, where, you know where the Catalyst building is, where the
Yeah.
graffiti market is?
Yep.
I built a lot of those offices in there. I've done.
Okay.
So
Yep.
there's the one that's tucked away in the back corner that people don't even know about. There's
Mm.
actually a Muskoka cottage that we built right in the corner of it, and
Really?
it has these two sliding garage doors that you go out into the back corner of that building. There's a little treed in area. That's where that little cabin is. So
Oh.
yeah, so that was pretty cool, but it was a lot of a lot of structural work, a lot
Mm,
of lifting, a lot of measuring and
mm,
cantilevering, and
mm-hmm.
yeah, it was. But I still think of it to this day. And there's fancy hallways that came down. The ceiling came in like a prism from like six angles. It was a lot. Yeah, it was pretty neat. It
Wow.
was pretty
Yeah, yeah.
fancy.
Now,
So
it sounds like you were working with other people, a lot of other
yeah,
people on something like that.
yeah,
Do you like that? Do you like collaborating with other workers? Do you
yeah.
prefer working on your own?
A little bit of both. When it's yeah, I do enjoy. Don't get me wrong. I like working by myself because I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of I get into the zone and I'm a hard worker,
Mm.
so it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of I do
Yeah.
my thing. And
Don't
the
slow me
taping end
down.
of it,
Don't get in my
yeah,
way.
yeah, the
Yeah.
taping end of it is great for that. People don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
anywhere near me, so it's good, right? But
That's true. This is a great job for an
oh yeah,
introvert because
yes,
nobody
it
wants
is.
to be around. You're right.
Nobody wants to be
Yeah.
around you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drywallers and tapers have a bad name of being, the degenerate of the crew. But that's changed from many years ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But but other than that, like I ran big commercial jobs for a long time with multiple people, and I enjoyed it. It was rewarding.
Mm.
It was nice
Mm-hmm.
to see a finished product, and
Mm.
but
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot more stress and whatnot,
Yeah.
ordering materials and organizing guys, and you got to make sure that every one of these 20 people are doing the right job. So
Mm. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
What I love about work like yours, I mean, I don't do a lot of those types of things, but even painting, anything like that, is that you have this like before and after.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love a good before and after. And I'm sure there's times where it's more dramatic than other times. And it's got to just be so
It was, and it's weird. Unfortunately, the shine kind of wears away, and I don't see it anymore. And now I'm cursed with I go into somebody's house, and that's all I can look at is, oh,
uh,
what did they do over there? And I'm like, oh, yeah,
okay.
I'm
You've got
damaged
that
good.
critical eye now.
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but
Something else that I'm curious about because of things like Instagram Reels or whatever, TikTok, I've seen some like super cool, like not practical, but fun things people do. Like, um, I saw in an island, somebody had like they moved, I think actually they moved the top of the island back and went down a staircase into like a wine
yeah,
cellar.
yeah,
Then
yeah,
there's the one in an island that there was a door that went into a slide into the basement.
sure,
I've seen a
yeah.
couple of those. Have you ever done a like really fun type of renovation project?
I haven't, not like that.
Would you like to like, or would that be
You
fun?
know, I yes and no. You get into stuff like that, like unfortunately, you get into a lot of structural things and
Mm,
whatnot, so it gets a little
okay.
more tricky.
Yep.
But yeah, it would be fun to do for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of custom kind of built-in things. I've done, you know, pi- um, bunk beds built into like attic lofts and a lot of
Okay.
recess
Yes.
stuff, and
Yes.
I've
I
done that
love
kind of
stuff like that
thing.
too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a lot of that kind of, built-in stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
never any secret passageways.
I
Not
know that
yet,
I don't
not
know.
yet.
It's just it's the kid in me, right? That I see anything like secret and I'm like, that's
Oh
fun.
yeah.
That's fun. Let's do that. I
Well,
can't
everybody
imagine
needs a
having a
fire pole.
slide from my kitchen. That's the
Yeah,
best.
you need a
Yeah.
fire pole somewhere, right?
I exactly. Yeah. This stuff would be so fun. My mom's mom was a carpenter and she learned from her father, not as her like career, but she built the home my mom grew up in.
Oh, well, nice.
And so she loved doing just working with wood, and she did so many cool things. But it's interesting because so many homes that I show people, like if it's a 1.5 story and they've got the sloped roof and they have, the sides
Yeah,
blocked off. Um, I just remember a lot of my life from childhood, she had built the dressers into that
yeah,
space.
yeah,
So, you just pull the drawer out of the wall and
yeah.
saved all that space. And I just thought, as a kid, I thought that was the coolest thing. So when I show the houses, I'll tell people,
Yeah,
my grandmother did this really cool thing. So,
yeah.
yeah, love
The
using
one
space.
I did do something. In my last house, I built a playhouse for my son,
Did
and
you?
because I had so much material from work, I fully drywalled it and vinyl sided
No
and
way.
elevated it, and it was insulated and power, and then I had to slide down to the pool, and
See,
uh, yeah, it was overkill.
but it should be. It should be
Yeah,
overkill. That's
yeah,
what makes it so fun.
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
So
I love that. Yeah, there's so many
I
cool
just
things you can do.
carpeted and everything. So
Oh, I love it. I'd love to. Do you have pictures?
well, I don't know if I do anymore. I'd have to
Okay.
look. I'll have to
Okay.
look.
If you
Yeah.
come across them, I would
Yeah.
love to see. Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm just a big kid.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone about to start a major home renovation?
Ooh. Um, know your contractor. That
Mm,
is what's gonna make or break any job
okay.
is depending on how you're doing it. Some people choose to go with a general contractor and then they
Hmm.
hire out all their trades.
Yep.
Um, if you have the time and the patience, um, money wise, it's better if you can find your own trades.
Okay.
If you
Mm-hmm.
can, if you, again, it might take a little more scheduling and a little more time,
Mm-hmm.
but if you can find and pick all your own trades that you can rely on and schedule them in not a crazy rushed fashion,
Mm-hmm.
that's the key.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants it done in 2 weeks, but if
Right.
everybody's
Right.
not working over top of everybody,
Yeah.
that's the way to do it. You can save yourself a lot of money.
Mm.
Um, you're basically becoming the general contractor.
Yep.
Again, you're gonna depends on how big of a project. You're gonna have to get somebody to do some drawings for you. The permits and whatnot. But from there on, if you can take the initiative and find your own contractors and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot, you'll save yourself a ton of money
Mm. Okay.
and you have more of a hands-on say in what they are all doing because you're
Mm-hmm.
holding their check, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah. You reminded me of another piece of advice I think we would give somebody, and it's to be realistic with time, how long
yes,
it's going to take, to be
yes,
patient and expect delays.
yeah.
Yeah.
Expect delays in today's kind of world. Anything is anything fancy that you like is typically custom order, and it's going to
Mm.
take long.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
Mm-hmm.
wants a granite countertop and that takes longer, or the
Yeah.
fancy plank flooring and that takes longer. The fixtures that take longer. A lot of things take longer, and a lot of people don't know until like plumbers don't know that their toilets are going to be back ordered until
Mm-hmm.
it's too late. So yeah, be flexible for sure. Be flexible,
Yeah. Be
but
flexible. Channel Trevor's chill energy.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. But
Then we'd
believe
be
it or not,
good.
planning is key. Like if you can plan so far ahead
Mm-hmm.
and have things kind of pre-ordered, planning is huge. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Planning and patience. That's what I'm hearing.
planning and patience and a
Mm-hmm.
good vacuum.
And a really good vacuum and stay away from Trevor.
Yes, yes, yes.
uh, so, what is next for you in your career? Do you have any goals or projects that you're excited about?
Next for me in my career, I really want to grow more in the inspection end of it. That would be an ultimate goal. Every year I've been doubling and tripling. This
Mm,
year I'd like to again go up from that. My goal is to ultimately maybe transition fully into that and maybe be able to hire some workers and kind of make it a larger
yeah,
envelope.
yeah,
Why stay small? Let's go.
yeah. Let's go.
Find I know a
Bigger
lot
and
of
better.
people. Yeah, know a
Hmm.
lot of people in trades and stuff like that, and they see me doing it, and they're like, "Wow, well, I can do it." I'm like, "Well,
Mm,
you can." I'm like,
yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
but I want 10%. No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah.
I guess you kind of apprenticed in a way with your dad, right?
Yeah, yeah. When
So
I
young?
started off, I apprenticed with him. Yeah,
Yeah. Have you had somebody apprentice with you?
yeah. Not only like two.
Hmm.
It's tough. Like nobody wants to do it.
Yeah.
So
And
I've
it's
had
such
one
a
guy.
shame because it's such a great way to learn. Like
Yeah.
right with
Well,
somebody, under somebody. And that's the way it would have been done for like thousands of years, right?
yeah, yeah. And what kids don't know, you get kids who don't know what they're doing in life, not in a negative way, but they don't want to be a computer person, or they don't want to be an office person, or they want something more. Like it's a great thing to get into
Hmm.
if you can just push back past the part that yeah, you're going to need to work,
Yeah.
but within a few years you can be making more money than maybe your parents. Like you can do quite
Mm.
well very quickly.
Hmm.
It's my end of it is it's a high demand for what I do right now,
Yeah.
because everybody's getting out of it. So
Right.
yeah, I've apprenticed a few people.
Hmm.
One guy I had with me for a while, he's kind of branched off and he's doing his own thing. I've had a few people who kind of got into it. They lasted a week and they're like, I can't do this. It takes a certain type of person, like
Sure. It's not
like
for
you need
everybody.
you
Hmm.
need patience. You do need a light touch. You need thick skin because it's
Mm.
some people are it's construction. I like to tell people it's the last area where where people still talk to you like it's the 70s, like
Mm.
which isn't
Okay.
necessarily a good thing. But
Right.
there's still a lot of old timers out there
Sure.
who don't accept certain things. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you need thick skin.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like anything else. You adapt, right? And
Hmm.
you make something of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you were ever going to try a totally different career, what would it
Yeah.
be?
Ooh, totally different
Totally
career. You
different.
know what's weird? I always look at it nowadays and I'm like, you know what? I bet you I could have been a lawyer. Um,
Ah. What kind? What kind of law?
um, I don't know, probably a criminal. The business end of it
Mm.
says is boring to me.
Hmm.
Um, just
Hmm.
I've been very blessed with the ability to learn things. That's kind of why I can pick everything up and do things really well.
Hmm.
So it was never a learning issue. It was more of a kind of growing up north and not a lot of money issue.
Mm.
But
Sure. Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
I could see myself doing something more. But I like
Hmm.
what I'm doing now. I'm fine
Ah.
doing it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you're good at what you do.
Thank
So
you. Thank you.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah,
I'm trying.
I can see that chill energy in the courtroom. I
Yeah.
think that would
Yeah.
work well too. I
I
can
don't know which
picture it.
end, defense
Yeah.
or the other
I
end. I
don't
don't
know
know.
that it
See?
matters. I just think you'd be very persuasive when you can kind of have a confidence but be chill about it. I think
Yeah,
that's very persuasive.
yeah. Maybe it's never too late. It's
It's
never
never
too
too
late.
late. No, never too late.
So, yeah.
Before we go into, I have a few rapid fire questions for fun. Before we go into that, is there anything we haven't kind of talked about, touched on that you want to mention?
Not really. We kind of touch on everything. It's pretty good. You do. You're a great interviewer. Jeez, you
Oh,
should really have
thank
your own
you.
TV show.
All right. You
There
become
you
a
go.
lawyer. I'll get a
Yes,
TV show. Yeah.
done.
And then my TV show will feature your
Yeah, they
legal
will just keep
proceedings.
going back and forth off each other. It's great.
That's right. That's right. Sounds good. Okay. So if you're ready, I know you already answered one of these, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Morning person or night owl?
Lately a little bit of both.
Okay.
I
You're not
kind
the
of
first to say that. Yeah.
I've always been an early person just from work. And I have a dog who wakes me up super early. But once you get past the, what, I don't need 8 hours of sleep. Once you get that out of your brain,
Hmm.
you can find a comfort zone and,
Yeah. What is your comfort zone? How much sleep do you feel good with?
uh, 6 or 7. I'm, 6-ish, 7-ish. I try for. So
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
yeah,
See, that kind of is not surprising with your hard work. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Sacrifice some
So,
sleep.
yeah.
If you could teleport anywhere right now, where would you go?
Ooh. Hmm. Scotland or Ireland or somewhere really green like that and sit in a pub right now. Bam, done. And then I
Yeah,
can see the
yeah.
castles and all
Mm.
that,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Mm-hmm. Are you a beer fan? You like beer?
Yeah, not like crazy, but I do like a good dark
Okay.
beer.
Yeah,
My taste
yeah,
buds have kind of, I think, died off nowadays, so I could
yeah.
kind of drink the stuff that people hate.
Mm-hmm. And some good pub food.
Exactly,
Yeah, I
exactly.
love some
So,
good pub food. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Sounds good. What's a book, podcast, or movie you'd recommend?
Ooh, well, this podcast, of course. Oh, geez.
Good answer.
Um,
Good answer.
yeah. It's funny. I'm not a huge reader, but I've done lately with the amount of, like, I did a lot of driving and whatnot. I did a
Mm,
lot of audiobooks,
yeah.
and I love Matthew McConaughey's. I think it's called Green Light.
Green light. Yes.
It
Yes.
was great. I loved
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Did
it was
did
good.
he read his own book? Did he
Yeah,
do
he
it
did.
himself?
Yeah,
Okay. His
yeah.
voice, yeah, here that I love when an author reads their own book. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. It was very simple. Like it was just a real, he's
Hmm.
just very real, I find. So,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, he had good,
I haven't
simple
read the
advice.
book, but I've heard lots of interviews with him about the book.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I understand that the gist of it. I just haven't
yeah.
actually, read the
It
book
was,
yet.
it was pretty good. And I'm not a huge book guy. It puts me
Hmm.
to sleep. So,
Yeah.
but that was it. Yeah,
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
yeah.
What's a hidden talent or skill that maybe many people don't know you possess?
Ooh, hidden talent. Oof, I'm a pretty good cook.
Okay.
I'm a
Mm-hmm.
complete package. I can work
Mm-hmm.
and cook and
Mm-hmm.
clean and all kinds of things. I'm a good housewife.
Okay. Okay. And what would be one of your like best meals that you can prepare?
Oh, um, I like a lot of like feta and spinach and stuff like that, mixed in with a chicken. It's not complicated, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you open up the chicken and you stuff it and
Yeah.
tomatoes and dress it. Yeah, it's an
Sounds
easy go-to.
sounds pretty good. See, now that
Yeah,
you've shared it,
yeah.
just
Well,
saying.
we'll have to have dinner.
I let people cook for me. That's
Yeah,
my skill.
yeah, and barbecuing, of course.
Yeah. Oh, this one was about current profession, but I already asked that. What's a motto or mantra you live by?
You know what? It's weird. I push harder. That's kind of something that's been in my head for years and years and years.
And
Like
what does that mean for you?
just never be content.
Mm,
Like never settle. Never just keep going. Keep pushing. Push
mm,
harder. Do
mm.
more. Do something more. I like to be what's the word? Like ambition is huge.
Okay.
Ambition in a
Mm-hmm.
person is huge. Like
Mm-hmm.
you need to have some sort of ambition in your life. Push harder, go for something, have a goal. Always have a goal. If you reach that goal, have another goal. Right? You should
Mm-hmm.
never settle for where
Mm.
you're at. Even if you're happy, you should always, try for something else,
Yeah. Yeah.
branch off into something totally new. Push
Yeah.
harder, do something.
Mm-hmm.
I try to get my
Yep.
kid to do that, but he doesn't see it yet.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
12, but maybe
Yeah,
he'll get there. Maybe he'll
he'll
get
get
there.
there. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
gonna follow in my footsteps or not. We'll see.
Right. Right.
He wants to be
Exactly.
a baseball player, so we'll
Does
see.
he? Oh gosh. And he's showing some really good
It's
skill.
showing. He's showing my
Yeah.
wallet, that's for sure.
So you better keep pushing, keep working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That reminds me of years ago when I learned the Japanese word. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but kaizen or kaizen, which means
Mhm.
continuous improvement.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
love that.
it's
That's
true.
that's been one of my values. I always in all areas I'm trying to like improve, be better, do better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You
Mm-hmm.
have to. I think it's a key to life.
Mm.
Once you settle and you become stagnant, it's just nowadays people and their like depressions and stuff. It's like keep trying, keep pushing, keep improving. Like improving on yourself is key, right? So
Yes.
look into yourself, look inward, and really improve in yourself. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
used to
for
be
sure.
so shy. I would never be able to do
Yeah.
this.
Oh
Oh,
my goodness. And now you're doing
this.
this and you're doing your videos
And
on social media.
yeah,
Amazing.
Yeah,
Good job.
it's a lot. So,
Yeah.
just keep going. Put yourself out there. Do the awkward things that you hate.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
Push the boundaries of that comfort zone for sure.
yeah, exactly.
Before I let you go, where can people find you? Where's the best place for them to find you?
So I have a lot of stuff, as you said, on Instagram. You can find me on TG Construction Home Inspection, TG Home Inspection, kind of all mingled in there. I got a couple websites, TG Construction, TG Home Inspection. Mostly find me online.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there. You put it in TG and I'll pop up.
And
I
it'll pop
I
up.
own
Yeah.
every trademark name now.
Good for you. Yeah. 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 That's
Yeah,
awesome.
for sure. Or
Yeah. I
reach out
will.
to your realtor and get some information for
That's
sure.
right. Yeah. I will put, I'll put some links in the show notes so people can
Okay,
just find you quite easily.
great.
So I'll make sure I
Thank you.
get them all after.
Awesome.
Trevor, thank you again.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate and value your time. I know you have always a lot of things on the go. So, yeah, it was great that you would take some time and have this chat with me today.
Thank you for having me. Keep up
All
keep
right.
up the good work. They're great. Keep
Thank
going.
you. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Okay. We'll see you soon when you make me some chicken and feta.
Yeah, for sure. I'm
Okay.
gonna have to make it for the whole group now.
I guess this is the thing. You're going to come and you're going to do a little
Yeah, yeah,
talk on
yeah,
things and you're
yeah.
going to cook
Make sure
for
you edit
us.
that part out now so nobody sees
I
it.
know because Caroline's going to hear, she's going to be like, great,
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
even need to cater it anymore. Trevor is going to come and
Exactly.
talk and cook.
Yeah, yeah. As long as you bring dessert.
That I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do
Okay.
that. All right. Talk soon.
Thank you.